Given this new world of remote work, I thought it was important to take a step back and really talk about identity with you. So this is the first video in a series of videos where we dive into Azure Active Directory. Now, it's no surprise to you some of the stats that are on the screen here, but one of the reasons why identity is so important is because it is the one thing that you do have control over. I mean, look, users are using third-party software as a service apps that you don't manage. You don't manage the data center or the firewalls. Users are accessing this data beyond your firewall and outside your corporate network. They're using devices that you don't manage. And then beyond that, you also have to worry about compliance regulations. And then users, they want access to this stuff at any time, anywhere on any device. So that drives the need to evolve and modernize. And when you think about identity, again, that's the one thing you do have control over. And that now becomes the control plane for all these different services that users need access to. And so I want you to think about that for a moment. It really becomes kind of the new firewall, if you will. Now, Azure Active Directory is built on open standards, and Microsoft's been a key contributor here for probably close to 20 years. And so they're working closely with some of the alliances and organizations you see here on the screen to develop those secure best practices for identity. And because Azure AD is built on these open standards, it provides even greater interoperability with other applications and even greater security. Now, when you take this a step further, that's really where Azure Active Directory thrives, is the integration with other services, line of business applications, HR management systems, passwordless systems, and even identity governance and so on and so forth. And again, using identity as a control plane through Azure AD enables you to then govern access and control these different applications you see on the screen. And this is just some of it. There's probably thousands more that I'm not even talking about here. Now, Azure Active Directory also is a member, or Microsoft is a member of the FIDO Alliance, or Fast Identity Online. And that's one of the most important organizations out there that are really trying to pursue things like passwordless and secure authentication. And so this is some really important work that's happening here. Now, this is where we go into Azure Active Directory and really these four pillars. So in the next video, I'm going to jump into connect your workforce to any app. I'm going to talk about single sign-on and identity lifecycle management and that kind of stuff. Then we're going to jump into protect and govern access in another video where I talk about zero trust and how that goes beyond multi-factor authentication and even passwordless. Then we're going to get into engage with customers and partners and how you can use Azure Active Directory to actually provide access to maybe a web portal or something with your partners and your customers. And then lastly, accelerating the adoption of line of business apps and making sure that those are developed with that secure development lifecycle in mind and with the Microsoft identity approach in mind as well. Okay, so stay tuned for the next video on connect your workforce to any app. Thanks, everybody.